just came out sizzling in this ball game. When your opponent, and I mean the Sooners, shoot 68% from behind the arc, 13 of 19, shoot 52% from the floor, 30 of 57. Auburn had two players in double figures. Keyshawn Hall and Kevin Overton both had 26 points apiece, but that was about it. The Auburn Tigers come up short on the road last night, 91-79 against the Sooners.
Yeah. Tahad Pettiford no-showed.
He had 4 points last night, 1 of 9 from the floor.
Yeah, when you're needing wins, one of your two dudes has got to show up. And, I mean, Keyshawn Hall, he obviously got off to a slow start, but he got it cooking in the second half and certainly played a pretty good game. But you need both of your dudes to show up. Overton certainly did. He had 26, but I'll just quote Justin Hokanson, who's been on this show, and he's a part of Auburn Live. I guess they still call it now Auburn Sports. I think that's they took over the Auburn Sports brand, and now it's just a part of Rival / On3. And we're going to talk to Brian Matthews, his colleague, today. But he basically just said Auburn's got some guys that just refuse to play defense. And that's pretty much true. I mean,
Stephen Pearl called it an embarrassment last night.
Yeah, it was not good. So 91-79, he apologized to the fan base. And, that's not what they're about. And they played pathetic basketball. At least
you've lost 6 of your last 7 ball games.
And they shouldn't have beat Kentucky. They got handed the game on a damn silver platter because Courtney Green is an idiot. And like I said, Garrison for Kentucky, A, can't tip the ball in, and B, decided, I think I'm not going to defensive rebound. I'm just going to let Auburn play volleyball until they tip it in. So I would dock him NIL pay simply for effort because he did not give effort.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. The one thing with Auburn, though, and this does not bode well for the Tigers. Now you really start micro dissecting everything, and you should with Auburn because they are trending very much backwards. They are one loss away, really one bad loss away from not being, I think.
They have to win the next 2 games to get to 17 and 13 going into Tuscaloosa. If they lose either one of them, they don't deserve to go to the tournament.
No.
They've had 2 horrendous losses in the last week and a half.
This Oklahoma one, you could almost chalk it up as I know it's a road one.
Good team, though. They I will give them credit. They've continued to play hard for Porter Moser.
Right.
They're still probably getting fired, but still, it's just if they lose, and it's the way they lost.
Yes.
They did make a run at the end of the first half to get within 6, but they basically were down double digits the entire game. They played terrible. They gave up 91 points. And then you look at the Mississippi State game, they've got one guy that can score, and you give up 46 points. And Alabama's got to stop him tonight.
Yes.
If Alabama doesn't stop him, they could have the same kind of loss. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying in Auburn's situation,
you know where the ball is going to.
They had 11 losses, and they were all good losses. Well, now you've got 2 bad ones. You've lost to 2 of the bottom 5 in the SEC, and now you play 2 more of them in your next 2 home games. And if you lose either one of them, your season is basically over, and you're headed to the NIT unless you win the whole damn tournament in Nashville, which is about as likely as me sending a Christmas card to Phil Fulmer. It's not going to happen. Okay, because they don't have the front line. They don't have consistent enough guard play. They don't want to guard anybody. They've got a first-year head coach. They're not winning in Nashville the entire tournament. Could they win a game or 2? Of course they could. But they're not going to win 5 in a row. There's no way in hell that's going to happen. If it did happen, I would have AC as a co-host on this show for a day.
I just can't get over the thought of you sending Philip Fulmer a Christmas card and what that picture would look like.
Huh. The Great Pumpkin.
I don't know if you would pose for it or what you would do. That would be rather impressive.
Something that I can't put on this camera, but that's all right. You can still call that a card.
Anyway, Auburn does fall last night, 91-79. There was a couple other SEC basketball games last night, but don't look now. The Missouri Tigers have pushed their quad one record to 5-5 on the year, thanks to a 73-69 home win against number 22 Tennessee.
I'm not surprised about that one at all. I kept trying to tell everybody that Oklahoma was a trap game for Auburn too.
Right.
I thought that it was I'm just basing what I've seen out of Auburn and how they've played. And I watched the Auburn-Kentucky game. Yes.
Pathetic. I mean, look. I want both Alabama.
6 out of 7, and you should have lost 7 in a row because you got lucky to beat Kentucky because the officials bailed your ass out. You've been playing pathetic basketball.
No, I want both Alabama and Auburn to be in the tournament. I think it's great for the state. But the thing is right now Auburn is not holding up their end. They are playing bad basketball.
I thought
down
they
the
might
stretch.
have got over the hump when they beat Florida, and they may have found themselves.
Right.
But that was a mirage, and we've all seen that now. It was a mirage. I did call them before that beating Arkansas because I thought they were struggling early in the league, and I thought, okay, this is where they start getting right.
Right.
In Neville, they beat the Arkansas Razorbacks, but I didn't give them much of a shot at all to win at Florida. And then when they did that, I think maybe they finally found themselves. But instead, we've just seen still.
Is this Stephen Pearl not being able?
He's never been a head coach.
Right. I'm saying, is this him not being able to navigate some of those things as being a first-year head coach? Or is this the fact that this is what you're going to get sometimes with a transfer portal-esque style of a roster where, if things start going left or right or downhill, so to speak, that everybody's just going to kind of jump ship and do it for themselves.
My thing is, do the players completely trust him? And, he helped recruit the roster.
Right.
But his father was the acting head coach at the time. And it's always different when you slide down a couple seats. Okay. And so there's always going to be adjustment. No question about it. And Bruce Pearl's first year wasn't great. Nate Oates' first year wasn't great. The first year is always very difficult. And on top of it, Bruce Pearl did leave Stephen with the toughest schedule in school history.
Right.
But I will say they still have a chance due to playing that schedule and due to beating the likes of St. John's on the road and getting a nice win, due to beating Arkansas, due to beating Florida. It's not over for them. They've got to get their heads out of their rectums, and they've got to win the next 2 games over Ole Miss and LSU. If they do that, then I think they're in pretty strong shape, even with this loss to Oklahoma, again, going into the Alabama game.
So let's say they do. Let's say they do win those games.
They'll be 17-13, and we've already seen Alabama and Mark get fired / Godfrey. He went 18-13, 17-14, and still got in because he played a very tough schedule.
Right.
We've already seen it happen. Nate Oates got in a few years ago. I think Alabama was 18-14 or 19-14, something like that. And then they played Notre Dame. We all saw what happened. Jake Hughes, Javon Quinterly tore his ACL early in the game, and Notre Dame whipped their rear end. Mike Bray got the win, marched on, and then it was basically Notre Dame's last decent basketball, and Alabama went home. Okay, so but Alabama got in, and we're still a 6th seed because of their schedule. I don't think Auburn will be that high a seed, but I think you're talking about if they say I'm just going hypothetical here. If they were to upset Alabama and win 3 in a row, they're definitely in at 18-13. But if they lose to Alabama but win the other 2 and they're 17-14, win a game in Nashville, then go home. That's you're talking about 18-15, and I think they avoid the first 4, but I think they're probably a 10 or 11 seed in a tough first round matchup.
So let's say they do get in. Let's say they ultimately win those 2 home games, and they go 2-1. Worst case, best case 3-0 down the stretch. What's the ceiling then if this team gets into the NCAA tournament? Is this just a team that you just got to roll the dice in that opening round game? Because I don't see them getting past the first weekend, even if they do get in right now.
But depending on the draw, we know how unpredictable the NCAA tournament is.
Right.
They would be capable of winning a game. I would have doubt that they could get to the second weekend.
The way they're playing right now.
There are a couple things. One, their stars, Keyshawn Hall and Tahad Pettiford, have been inconsistent. Two, they don't have a lot of size on the interior. Keyshawn Murphy is pretty, and then the pro that they don't think is a pro, Jovic, who's 21 years old, played overseas, came, in June. The same thing as Charles Bediako. I don't give a rat's crap what anybody tells me, but he's on the team. So again, that's pretty much all their inside game. And then the third thing, C, and the final thing is they don't defend consistently.
Right.
So now if they got hot on offense, if Keyshawn Hall got to cooking, and we saw the Tahad Pettiford we saw for 3 weeks until last night, and really the last week, because Tahad wasn't very good, honestly, when you go back and look at it, even when they beat Kentucky. So, but before that, though, for 2.5, 3 weeks, though, he was really good. If you get that to Tahad, then I think Auburn can at least win a game. But I still think it's unlikely that they win 2 and get to the weekend. I think the roster is just flawed. I mean, Alabama's is flawed, but I think they have more talent than Auburn does, quite frankly. And then they seem to have more buy-in because Auburn has had these, Alabama's had injuries, but Auburn's had, Tahad Pettiford getting called out by his coach, Keyshawn Hall getting called out by his coach.
To the point where he didn't even play.
Well, and I will say, I mean, you got to give Stephen Pearl credit because you're trying to win games in your first year, but he has disciplined the players. And I've seen a lot of coaches. I've seen Seth Greenberg from ESPN talking about that, and then, reiterating about how Bruce Pearl didn't do him any favors about leaving him with the schedule he did. But still, it's just, it's been a turbulent year, but what they need to focus on is the next 3 games and making sure they get themselves into the NCAA tournament, have some momentum going to Nashville for the SEC tournament. And I think the SEC, especially after Missouri last night, and it's always great to see Tennessee lose. I would have, it's never a bad thing. And so you still got a chance to get 11 teams into the tournament. And then, again, I'll give a shout-out to Oklahoma and Porter Mosier. They probably lost more close games than anybody in the league, but they haven't given up, obviously. They're still playing hard for their coach, who's fighting up, and now they're going to have to finish really strong to even have a chance to get to any kind of postseason and save his job, but we'll see. But certainly a big win for OU last night, and Auburn, just laid a clunker.
All right, 7:15. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to talk a little. We got to talk some high school basketball as well because there was some regional finals yesterday. More area teams headed down to Birmingham.
There you go.
Boy, we're just really good at basketball, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Got to get a break in. When we come back, we'll fill you in on the history that was made. Talking Ball.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA Softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore in Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. McCurryVanAndCarRental.com.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490. Or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Right before the show started, we're going to go high school basketball.
Yeah.
Our good friend Cody Myers on Facebook sent us a message.
Very impressive win for section yesterday as well.
But he sent us a message, and this will make you feel really good.
Yeah.
Okay? He says, and I quote, "We stopped and ate at the Chief yesterday."
Big Chief. I told him about the Big Chief.
And he goes, "That was the best cheeseburger and chocolate milkshake I've had in a long while."
I told him.
He says, "My buddy got chicken fingers and couldn't eat all 4.
Wow.
He said they were huge, so I helped the guy out." He goes, "I finished it." He goes, "I got to watch a very good game between Pisgah and North Sand Mountain girls in overtime. And then the section lines took care of business."
Yeah, it was 68-66 North Sand Mountain. And you know how good Pisgah is all the time, man.
Yes, they are a machine.
Huge for North Sand Mountain.
They are a machine. But anyway, kudos to Cody Myers for stopping at the Big Chief.
He sent me a message yesterday. He said, "Now, what's this y'all are talking about?" And I said, It's over there near Glencoe.
It's right there in Glen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said, it's been around 50 plus years. I said, it's an old school drive-in. I said, I've been there a couple times. Scott and Steve have been there several times. I said, he goes, "Hey man, we may stop and check that out on the way back."
You need to.
And it's good.
Yes.
I mean, there's
it
no
is
doubt
worth it is worth stopping if you're going to Jack State, or even if you're going to Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's a great little stop, get you a burger and a shake, and then just finish the drive. But
I'm still looking for that elusive grape shake everybody keeps telling me about.
You just got to stop and just ask for it. You just ask for a grape shake.
They didn't have it when I was there last time, though. I ended up getting a chocolate, which was very good.
The chocolate one is fantastic.
You know, I just have to have it in moderation, as everybody knows. But
well, they make it so thick that in the moderation can take you a while to go through it.
The moderation took a while. I drank it on the way home after I ate a huge cheeseburger and fries and
so the first time I stopped there with Steve, because I had been there a couple times,
right?
And we'd stopped there with Steve, and so Steve was like, "I'll get the double."
Oh my goodness.
I ordered the single. I was smart. I'd been there a few times.
Yeah.
And Steve ordered the double.
Yeah.
And that double came, and Steve gets about halfway through the double and was like, "I should have got a single. A little big." Anyway, Big Chief is where it's at if you're headed to Jack State. Great little stop. History was made there at the Pete yesterday in Class 3A boys.
Yep.
The Whitesburg Christian Academy Warriors knock off Westbrook Christian 58-31.
Reed Winton, perfect from the field.
The Warriors are headed to the Final Four for the first time in school history. In fact, their appearance in the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16 were first in school history.
Mm-hmm.
I think even the regional appearance, any of the regionals was first time in school history. Yeah. So they
outstanding basketball team.
Yeah, and they have an outstanding Hall of Fame head coach in Patrick Harding.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he was at the UAH game on Saturday. It was homecoming, so I mean, all the Hardings were there on Saturday. It was good to see him. Yeah. But Whitesburg Christian Academy gets it done over Westbrook Christian, so they are headed. The section boys are through in 2A boys, 72-53 over North Sand Mountain. The North Sand Mountain girls over Pisgah, 68-66. We mentioned that
Barn
one.
Burner.
Wadley is through. Winterboro is through in the 1A girls. And
Winterboro came back after we got off the air and won 49-42 in a barn burn over Eider.
Yesterday at the Northwest Regional at Wallace State Hansville, it was 7A, 6A, 3A. Congratulations to the Bob Jones girls. They are through. Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, they beat them 63-49. Jakaya Smith was named your Northwest Regional MVP from Bob Jones on that one. 6A girls, Hazel Green, they're back. They knock off Mortimer Jordan 62-35.
They never left. They made the damn championship game last year. They just didn't win it.
I'm saying they're back
for the 759th straight year.
The only difference this year is no Tim Miller is on the sidelines.
He's the athletic director at JP too.
Yeah,
I mean, they've done. I believe they had won 7 in a row going into last year, and they lost to Park Crossing in the finals.
A good one in the 3A girls. Mars Hill Bible, Lauderdale County. Lauderdale County, the defending champions, I believe.
And they won 11-12.
Yep, they beat them. Mars Hill Bible gets the win 71-62 yesterday.
Bell Hill.
And then the 3A boys, Lauderdale County over Mars Hill Bible, 74-43. So Lauderdale County boys are going to the Final Four.
So they're like Gunnersville. Everybody going to be partying.
Yeah, everyone going to be partying.
Yeah.
And then in the 6A boys, Coleman took on Lee. Coleman, I saw this score and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
80-53 for Coleman over Lee yesterday in the 6A boys finals. So one for Greg Brown, big one for Stu Studeman.
His first Final Four since year one, where they went on and won the state championship, the first in school history. He's back now. And we're going to, before we go to Stu Studeman, who's still to join us in a few minutes, we're going to go to Bama Bino. And I know he's excited to have some of these Sand Mountain teams going to Birmingham you were mentioning.
Welcome in, buddy.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, man?
Enjoy your show as always. I just wanted to correct something I said yesterday. I misspoke. I did say the Anderson boys' great-grandparents, granddaddy started the Chief. It is true, but it wasn't Logan and Peyton's great-granddaddy. It was Ty Anderson.
Okay.
Great-granddaddy. Ty played a little before that when my nephew played. Drew Sims, he does play-by-play with.
Yeah, that's right.
His brother-in-law, Adam Ward.
Adam Ward does a great job.
Fun 92, but anyway, he does that when he's off work. But anyway, it is the other. It's his first. It's the Anderson boy's first cousin that also goes there. It's their daddy's brother's boy. But anyway, so I didn't get. I listened to Sylvania's girls. We got a heartbreaker there, but it was a pretty good game with section.
Yeah, the section boys were very impressive, winning by I want to say the final tally was they won by 20. They've been really good all year, and then as Scott said, just a barn burner of a game in overtime. Pisgah 68-66, but North Sand Mountain takes care of them. I believe Scott did in that win for section. That was over North Sand Mountain as well, was it not?
Yeah, the section boys beat North Sand Mountain, and then the girls. So in the 2A girls, North Sand Mountain wins, Pisgah falls. Yeah. In the 2A boys, section wins, North Sand Mountain falls.
And Derek Wynn's already won a state title at section, and they've got I want to say about 8 seniors on that team, and then a sophomore who's unreal. So they're really, really good.
Dad told me that Sunday at church I didn't go. Kind of played hooky, but the Plainview, that girl that's a phenomenal for Plainview, the girls' basketball showed up with Mayor Roger Lingerfeld's grandson. It was his birthday. And I don't remember what he told me her name was, but he said she's a phenom. I don't know if you watched any of Plainview's girls.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them, but I know they got to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Really good, good program.
She's supposed to be some kind of just wonder. I don't know. But anyway, good show, guys. And yeah, it sounds like Auburn flopped last night.
They just didn't play well. They didn't have the energy or the pop, man. They just didn't show up, unfortunately.
It's kind of disappointing if you're an Auburn fan, because you would have thought after the Kentucky win, despite how it all played out or how it all came out, that you would go on the road and have a little bit of juice, have a little bit of energy. And again, just a slow start, flat-looking team, and just not really buying into the defensive game plan yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, one quick thing is NATO, is he going to find a way to communicate some way? And I'm not down in Nate. We're lucky to have him. Is he going to, though, find out some way to communicate to this bunch that they need to get a hip in there and screen out a little bit and hit the boards on rebounding and put back? I mean, this seems like we could be 5 or 6 games ahead of what we are if we would just put a hip in there as when the ball's shot, screen out and get the rebound, or either get some of them guys out of the way where we can get a rebound.
Well, that's going to be one of the keys of winning tonight, and then, of course, against Tennessee, who's one of the most physical teams in the SEC. But appreciate the call, Bambino, and thank you for clarifying the Big Chief, as you have helped us with your knowledge and in our listenership. We have a new fan of the Big Chief in Cody Myers, but we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thanks. Yeah, 7:30 here on the dot. We got to get a break in because when we come back, his team was victorious yesterday in the Northwest Regional, and he's a new dad. All in the same.
A lot going on, and he's joining us via video.
And all in the same season. He's doing it all during the season as well. I mean, it's just impressive.
Well, it took him a while to get back to me last night. I'm sure he was getting blown up. And then you have to wonder, you got to be on dad duty. So, I didn't know if he'd get any sleep anyways.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big, it's a big time in the Studeman household.
And we know
the one that lives in Coleman, not the one that lives here.
Not the one here.
Not the one here. The one that lives in Coleman.
The field named after.
Yes.
But he'll have something named. He's probably going to have the gym named after him or the floor at this rate. But still.
Look, I don't want to tell him this, but I don't like their floor.
Well, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
But I think they did that on purpose. They want to stand out.
No, they stand out.
Yeah.
They stand out. Got to get a break in. Stu Studeman will join us on the other side.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. More cloud cover this afternoon. Temperatures climbing, though, into the upper 50s and lower 60s, right around where we should be this time of year. A couple of scattered showers are certainly going to be possible, but the better opportunity for rain is going to begin to move into the Tennessee Valley on Thursday. Thursday does look like it is going to be a wash as of right now. We're talking about rain Thursday morning, afternoon, and evening, though temperatures climbing into the mid-60s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Check out our latest zone deal.
Donato's Pizza is the latest zone deal. Good at both locations in Huntsville and in Madison for Donato's Pizza. Fresh ingredients, edge-to-edge toppings. It's all at Donato's Pizza. Our latest zone deal. Check it out today.
Just head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Zone deals on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you called.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and
I'm on my way.
Thanks, man.
If you are a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the Partners of Alabama's Challenge and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Coleman Bearcats yesterday not dancing in the dark.
Nope.
Dancing with plenty of lights on. There at the Northwest Regional Wallace State Hansfield, they got by Lee 80-53, and they have stamped their ticket back to the Final Four at the BJCC.
They really have. And in year one, I was able to watch their journey starting, in the regionals at Wallace State, and they came in playing really well, but I still think they were a dark horse, and they just dominated the regional at Wallace State. And then when you saw the way the level they were playing at, I remember telling myself, this team might win the state title. There's no question in my mind. I was like, they are that good. They're playing at that kind of level. And they went on to win the state championship for the Bearcats, the first ever in state history, or in school history, in 6A. And now you got to get the same feeling again, because they came in with a really good record. They're now 26-5. They were 24-5 coming into the regional. They had played a team in Clay Chalkville that had given them some problems in years past, but they beat them by 12 very solidly. And then a lot of people had them as the underdog. They didn't think so when they were playing the Lee Generals yesterday. And then I love the quote from our next guest who's joining us via Zoom this morning, and we appreciate it on WZZN TV and on Talkin Ball. And they came not to survive, but thrive. And thrive they did. You couldn't have played a better, I don't think, first half than the Coleman Bearcats played yesterday against the Lee Generals. And now they march on as they've now gone to their second Final Four under our next guest and trying to win their second state title. And that's Stu Studeman. And as Scott rightfully pointed out as we were going to break, also a new father.
Yep.
Congratulations there as the Studeman family continues to grow. And we welcome Stu to the show. Stu, great job, man, by your team. I hope this Zoom link is going to survive for us. Technology's funny sometimes, but thank you for giving this a shot. And
congratulations on that win yesterday, bub.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a great month for the Studemans, to be honest with you. So really happy about that win. Really happy about being a new dad, and hopefully the Anfield personal internet here can hold up here on my end for you guys.
Well, let's just start. I'm going to start with the most important question, though. I mean, talk about the whole new dad experience. And,
Red Bulls. I mean, how are you doing?
How are we doing this
I know
in
how
balancing?
much energy you coach with, man.
And balancing a basketball season.
Hey, everyone's like when we announced the birthday, everyone's like, "Y'all are idiots. Why did you not plan it?" And I was just like, "Guys, I was just getting shots up, man. I'm trying to seal the deal here and get it done. I didn't think it would work like that, but fortunately for me and our family, we we're very blessed because a lot of people struggle with that, and it's been great. You lose a lot of sleep, but I'll tell you what, winning and going to the Final Four is fantastic. Winning and going to the Final Four and coming home to your new baby and staying up till 4 a.m. holding her and watching movies and game tape is next level. So it's an indescribable feeling. I'm so proud to be her dad, and my wife is unbelievable. Just about how she's able to handle everything while we're doing this right now and allowing me to be a coach, because she knows the importance of basketball to our players and our coaching staff, and that's very lucky. It's like Coach Acuff always says, there's two types of coaches' wives. There's great ones and there's divorced ones. So, and I have a great one. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
And then she was a high school basketball player herself, right?
She played in high school, but she's a lacrosse player. She played lacrosse at NYU.
There you go.
Yeah, same. There's a goal. I mean,
yeah. Well, let's take us through this run. Take us through this run that kind of led up to getting to the Final Four.
Man, our team is just rolling right now. I'm so proud of them. We had an atypical January for our basketball program. Normally, mid-January we just start dominating and rolling and clicking on all cylinders, and then you get to the playoffs and we go to a next level. But this, oh goodness, the time to wake up. So we hit some injury bug, as everyone does, sickness bug, and we really struggled. I mean, I think we lost 3 of 4 in January, and we've never done that here. I think we've lost 2 games in a row, like maybe 3 times in 5 years. Like, we never do that here, and our guys were really doubting themselves and struggling. And we kind of got healthy there. We kind of started coaching a little different. I was a lot better. I wasn't very good in January, and now I'm so proud of them, because they could have just said, all right, we're not that good. Let's just, try our best and let's get through this. But instead, they've just come and taken it to the next level. And I couldn't be more proud of them if I tried to be. I just think we're really clicking right now. We're connected defensively. We're connected offensively. We're making threes. We have a great inside-out game. And, whoever we play, I wouldn't want to play us right now,
Well, and Coach, it reminds me of watching your first team over there at Wallace that I think everybody knew had a really good year, but they weren't sure because the regional that year was very tough, and yet your team almost made it look easy. You certainly outcompeted everybody, I thought, and then once you got to Birmingham, that you guys just continued to ride that wave and just, I thought, outcompeted everybody you played that year to win the state championship. And now you've got a chance to get back. And I know there's been some gut wrenchers in the last 3 years or so trying to get back to Birmingham. So you can't take these journeys for granted. It's hard.
I mean, it's hard to win, period, at any place. Winning at Coleman in basketball is painfully hard. And we have made it look fairly easy the last 5 years, but if you really look at it, we're one school having an NBA player, a future NBA player, away from going to 3 Final Fours in a row, maybe even 3 state championships in a row. And
Caleb Holt. There you go.
Yeah, Caleb Holt. I mean, like I hate to be like this, but the only team to ever beat us in Wallace is Buckhorn, and they had 3 dudes, and not saying we didn't have a chance, but we did have a chance. But it's kind of like you run into that. That's bad luck. It's bad luck that the previous 3 years, the top 3 of the top 5 teams have been in our regional. I mean, it's just bad luck. And that's how, why it's so hard to win, especially if you're in the Northwest or Northeast region of the state. And, last year we got beat at the buzzer at our place, and I thought we were really good. I thought we were a title contender. We just had to survive Clay Chalkful, and they came up and got us at our place, and it's just hard. And I am so proud of our program and the consistency we've had, and our ability to be a contender at a place, and you're not necessarily known for basketball, you know what I mean? So, that first year was a fever dream, just incredible, lightning in a bottle, and we've continued to build on that. And now we have guys who have been with us for 4 or 5 years that, I mean, we have players on this team that were on our youth chaos teams. And like one of our backup 4-man, he was on the 6th grade chaos team 2 years ago, so it's pretty impressive. And I'm proud of where the program is, proud of where the program is going. And hopefully we can keep this rolling next week as well.
5 players in double figures yesterday, including one with a double-double. So, I mean, yeah, you got production a little bit from everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the double-double, you're like, oh, man, double-double in high school basketball, that kid must have been like 6'4", 6'5". That guy was 5'11" with a good pair of boots on. So, and like our power forward is 5'11". And now it's Gray Hopper, and Gray's been with us since a freshman, and he is a dog, a DAWG dog, and he is playing his best basketball at the end. And we're so proud of him. I mean, he's got a doctorate in Coleman basketball. So, and he is, I mean, it's just like, Gray, we need you to do this. We need you to do that. We need you to play point on the press. We need you to dive on the floor and get loose balls. We need you to make open threes. And he's just doing it. I mean, 10 rebounds at 5'11" in a regional basketball game is diabolical. I mean, it's awesome. I'm so proud of him. And it's just, that's the type of effort you got to get. If you want to advance and in the regional tournament at Coleman, you got to have special efforts like that.
Well, you had a special effort. I mean, you guys made 7 threes in the first half. And as you said, after the game, I mean, if you guys, you're predicated on pressure and making threes. And if you make threes and shoot the ball really well, you can speed the other team up a lot of times, get the other team out of what they want to do. And you certainly built a big lead against a Lee of 20 at the half. I think it was 34-14. Now, Lee came out hard, and as they do, they love to pressure. They cut it to 11, but then your team responded and stretched the lead back out and allowed your team to just win extremely impressively, 80-53, Coach.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, you probably know Skip. So me and him were talking. He's like, "What do you think, Stu?" And I said, "Man, I just wish we could be ahead 3 to 5, maybe 6 points the whole game, because if they got desperate, and they did get desperate, they are really tough to deal with, because they trap. Sometimes they have 3 to a trap. Sometimes they have 4 to a trap. Sometimes they go trap to a trap to a trap to a trap. It's just very unconventional basketball that they play, and it's a great style that fits who they are, but it's very hard to prepare for. I mean, we were practicing against eight guys going against pressure versus 8 people, and I still don't think it replicated it good enough. It was good enough to get us better, but it still wasn't like they were. And that run that they made in the third quarter, we played flawlessly in the first half. I think there's only about 2 or 3 things that I wish we had back in that quarter, or in that first half. And then the third quarter, they came and hit us in the mouth, and we called timeout there, which I hate to do. I got my parents cussing me in the stands, saying to call a timeout, Stu. Because we have a Roth RIA of timeouts in my career here at Coleman. We just don't call them unless we need them at the end. I treat them like gold. And one of my favorite parents I have, I hear him up there, call the timeout, And so we call a timeout, we regroup, and then you get another guy with an incredible story, Colt Fletcher, kind of just no one would know him but us. he comes out there and he hits 2 huge threes, and it goes from 12 to back up to 18, and it's bada bing, bada boom, the game's over. It's just you got to have those efforts, and I'm so proud. Colt Fletcher's a senior. He started with us, went to Fairview, went to Gunnersville, and now he's back with us. And he's, man, I wasn't sure it would work with him coming back, but he has been a joy to coach, and his story is incredible and such a redemption path. And I'm so thankful to have him here and have big moments. He's having big moments like that. He's had them all playoffs too. So, good for him, good for that kid, and good for our team for, regrouping after that timeout when they really hit us in the mouth.
How fun is it now to navigate these next few days, trying to balance the emotions, trying to balance getting everything ready for the Final Four, getting practice back under there? I mean, how much fun is this going to be for the next few days? And is it how big of a challenge is it on the other side?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge because it's 7 days off. I mean, it's like, and the way we play is you have to have a chip and you have to have an edge. So like, we're very thankful for all the attention and that we're about to get, and because we appreciate it. But we told our guys right after the game, we're going to celebrate it until we get to weights at 2:30 today, and we're going to be happy about it. And the teams that are successful in Birmingham are not the teams that are happy to be there. They're the teams that are going to treat it like what it is, an opportunity to do something special and work and practice and prepare the same way that it took them to get there. Now, it is a delicate dance because legs feed the wolf, and the fresher you are, the better you are. So you can get down a dangerous rabbit hole of overworking them in 7 days, but you still have to stay sharp. You still have to prepare. You still have to compete. Yet, our practices, even the day before games, are really, really physical. And there's been some moments this year where I've just been like, my heart stopped because you just don't know. So it's a delicate dance. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of attention, but success breeds complacency, and we can't have that because we, more so than any other year that I've been here, we have to play with an edge. We have to play with a chip on our shoulder because we are like, I mean, it just is what it is. We're a double-digit dog in every playoff game that we've played this year, except maybe the area tournament and area championship. So, I just think our guys got the right mindset. We got to keep it rolling, and they will.
Well, we certainly think you certainly have a great opportunity to win another state title, and what a performance yesterday on a huge stage. And I know you guys had tons of support over there at Wallace State, and the Coleman community's solidly behind you. I don't think there'll be anybody in Coleman probably next week when you guys play your semifinal, but we are certainly going to be watching very closely. We hope we can have you on again, which means you win another state championship. But we certainly appreciate the time and the relationship. And again, congratulations to your program and to your to being a new father there. And we're going to be following the Bearcats closely, man. Appreciate the time this morning.
Guys, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate all that you do for high school basketball and giving us a platform. One thing I do want to say before I go, I love the love that you always show my sister. She's my hero, and what an honor for her inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame and getting a field named after her. And then most importantly, on game days, she comes down from Huntsville and she stays with Aria and lets me and my wife sleep so I can go to bed at like 10:30. And it is the greatest sleep of all time. And she's the baby whisperer. She's the GOAT. And she's my hero. And I'm so thankful. And I appreciate all the love that you guys show her as well. So thank you guys so much.
It's well-deserved on both ends.
Absolutely. She's been great with Test as well.
Yes. She is a class act all the way.
And she tells the best stories.
Yeah, she tells the best stories. But did she tell you the one last year? I know we're short. I got to bring this up, though. So, Stu, we were doing a post-game interview last year.
Oh, man.
We were doing a post-game interview, and she let the S word fly over the air.
Studemans are, we don't have much of a filter. We kind of, it's a gift and a curse. We're good at coming off stuff off the cuff, and we are PR trained, but sometimes, you do it for 35 years like her, they slip. And
it was the best.
I'm hoping I get to that level where I can let one slip and no one would care. So that's funny. That doesn't surprise me at all.
It was great. It was.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes. No. Well, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the time, man.
Thank you, guys, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Stu Studeman, kind enough to join us on WCCN TV and Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline.
Before he got on, but it was great.
Yeah, it worked out good. Yeah. I mean, Les blessed it.
There you go.
We got to get a break in.
She probably cussed it, and then it worked. I don't blame her.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps, but it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
1, 2, 3, 4.
7:57 on a Wednesday morning. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Just about done. There it is. Just about done with hour number 1. Hour number 2 quickly, and I mean quickly approaching. Coming up here in just a minute, Blake Lovell's going to join the program, get his thoughts on last night's SEC games, plus what lies ahead for the teams tonight Alabama in action taking on Mississippi State, 8 o'clock tip. We'll preview that one with Blake Lovell as well as the rest of the action from around the conference. All that and get started in hour number 2, Talking Ball.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Oklahoma with a 91-79 win over Auburn yesterday as a 3.5-point home underdog. The Sooners end a 2-game losing streak. Alabama plays for its 7th straight win tonight, laying 14.5 against Mississippi State at the Coleman Coliseum, 172.5 the total. South Alabama, 14.5-point favorites over UL Monroe. Bellarmine laying 1.5 at North Alabama, 148.5 the total at Flowers Hall. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 120 to win the Duramax Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin in the Cup Series Sunday. Connor Zilic plus 350. Christopher Bell 9-1. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. Hour 2 is with us. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center tagging along as well. The official medical providers for the UAH Chargers, Rocket City Trash Pandas, both of which that have homes here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. They are dedicated to providing care that improves lives. 256-881-5151 to experience the Sports Med difference. SportsMedAlabama.com. Find them online. Give them a call today. We trust them, so you should trust them as well. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Last night, we broke down the Auburn loss, disappointing, embarrassing loss to Oklahoma, as Stephen Pearl put it, kindly, mildly. But anyway, they have got themselves a hole to dig out of. Kentucky does get a win last night.
Man, that was a little closer than it needed to be. I was thinking of Jack Pilgrim. He kept trying to tell everybody it's a house of horrors. They'd lost 4 in a row there, and they did not, they trust me, it was a 2-point game late. There were some people that were a bit nervous.
Survive at this point in the year.
Diabate made a lot of plays, man. A lot of dirty work, and Chandler made some plays, and of course, Otega Oweh.
Tonight, another full slate of SEC games. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the docket. 7th-ranked Florida travels to Texas. 25th-ranked Vanderbilt hosts Georgia. You got 20th-ranked Arkansas hosting Texas A&M. Ole Miss hosting LSU. And then 17th-ranked Alabama hosting Mississippi State. That's what you have on the docket tonight. So plenty to break down with our good buddy Blake.
Yeah, Blake Level from the basketball guy for Southeastern 16. There's some interesting matchups tonight. I want to get his thoughts on how many teams have, locked up bids. And this might be a big one for Texas, too. They could really – I think they're in solid shape, but they could really lock it up tonight if they could knock off the Florida Gators at home. And Texas has been tough. They won by 17 at Missouri about a week ago. Now they took one on the chin Saturday, against and Georgia got them 91-80. But we'll see. It's still a Texas team that's, I think, a solid one under Sean Miller. But Blake, welcome back to the show, man. We always love talking SEC hoops with you. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, guys. Good to talk to you as always.
Yeah, absolutely. First, let's get started last night. I just thought, I knew it was a trap game, though. I felt like this was going to be a dangerous one for Auburn. They didn't get it done. They're playing their way onto the bubble. Are they on the bubble right now, or are they still solid? Is it just – I said earlier in the show that I thought if they beat LSU and Ole Miss, they would be in even no matter what happened against Alabama. But what say you?
Yeah, I think after that, I think they're firmly on the bubble. I don't think they're safely in at all at this point. And I think it's just because, you have to – I don't love doing it, but you have to play the metrics game sometimes, and you have to play the numbers. And, that was an Oklahoma team that you just can't really afford a loss to right now if you're a team like Auburn, because the numbers do matter. And if the committee's looking at it, you can still tout the strength of schedule being the number one in the country, but at some point, you've got to win games. Mm-hmm. And at this point, they've now lost 6 of 7, and the one game they won, and I know people are like, well, we won it. But again, this is where the metrics and all this advanced data comes in. Winning by 1 point, doesn't really do you a lot of favors because, if you win the game by 10, if you win it by 15, I know it probably shouldn't matter, but it would matter in terms of that if it comes down to looking at some of these kind of advanced numbers and such. So that's not a good loss in any way, shape, or form. I think it's going to knock them down probably several spots. I don't mean the seed wise, but I mean in terms of the overall seeding of 1 through 68. So to me, that puts them probably closer to Dayton than they want to be right now. And, there may be some people who would have them out of the field as of this moment. I would not. I'd probably still have them in, but guess what? The record's 15-13. And again, that's kind of an issue right now, knowing what your remaining schedule is. Unless you win the SEC tournament, let's say you assume that you're going to beat Ole Miss and beat LSU. But then let's say you lose at Alabama. Well, that's 17-14. And again, unless you win the SEC tournament, you're going to get that 15th loss. So I just think they put themselves in a really tough spot. And, we'll see. They've got to win the next 2. If they lose one of the next 2, then I don't know that there's a path unless they were to win in Alabama and maybe pick up another 1 or 2 in the SEC tournament.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, it's like the wheels have all fallen off, but you look at it and a lot of this from Auburn has been slowly developing over time. It's not like it's just all of a sudden popped up. A lot of these things that are affecting this team have been slowly kind of grinding away about a halfway through the year.
Or been trending, that way. Yeah. They've just been issues all season.
Yeah, and I think, we took a little bit of backlash from Auburn fans back in mid-January because our thing, when we talked about them, we said, I just see a team that I don't think defensively is ever going to be able to figure it out. And it was one thing to figure it out against South Carolina and Ole Miss. But then, okay, they go win in Florida. Props for doing that. But I think that's really the only game that I've seen them in SEC play, minus, I guess, the Arkansas game at home, where I'm just like, that looks like a team defensively that can make a run in an NCAA tournament type setting. I mean, the numbers, again, they don't really lie. And that's been their issue, in these last games that they've lost, 91 at Oklahoma, 91 at Mississippi State, 88 at Arkansas, 84 against Vanderbilt, 96 against Alabama. That's been more of the norm than the outliers have. And so I think that's the thing. And so when you have a team like that the defense has gotten better at times, but has the defense really gotten better overall? I don't think so. And, that's where they just have not given themselves enough room to work with there, even as an elite offensive team. That's just been a problem. And so we'll see. I mean, they should be able to win these next 2 games. But again, if they lose one, then I just think you're kind of in an impossible spot heading into that Alabama game and then the SEC tournament.
And then Kentucky, it certainly wasn't a Picasso, but they got it done.
Yeah, and that's why, I think these 2 games last night, you had to know that somewhere in these 2, you were going to have a game like Auburn having at Oklahoma, but also you probably figured, well, Kentucky's not going to come out and win this game by 30 because that's just not really been Kentucky either this season because they've been pretty inconsistent. But they had to have it, and they got it. And, I think it's one where this team has a ceiling. And, we're not looking at them as the number 2 team in the SEC that was projected to be there early in the season. Everybody understands that this is just not that kind of team. And unfortunately for Kentucky, I think they're going to wind up being slotted potentially in that 8-9 game. And I just do not see them in any scenario against whatever group of 1 seeds exist, them advancing beyond that. I just don't think you can kind of trust them in that particular scenario. And so we'll see what it winds up being. I think, again, if I'm Kentucky, I'd much rather, if I can't get to the 7, I'd much rather slide to the 10 because
right.
I don't want to be in that 8-9 game. I don't think they would want any part of that based on the matchups they would have. But this is kind of where they're going to settle, and they've got a chance to finish strong. Home games against Vanderbilt and Florida at A&M, but that they've been a little too up and down to kind of have that confidence in them, I think.
Missouri now 5-5 in quad 1 games. Huge win,
Gates, man. What a
huge win at
night.
home last night against Tennessee.
Yeah,
has to help their chances.
Yeah, they're in as of right now, and I think Missouri is kind of the team that has answered the bell each time now. It's like, well, they lost at home to Texas by 17, bounced back and beat Vanderbilt. Lost at Arkansas, which really doesn't hurt you at all. Now you bounce back and beat Tennessee. So the problem is what I've been saying with Missouri is that Missouri fans don't look now, but it's great to have this stretch of games against the good teams. But I said, don't look at February 28th and March the 3rd, because you got to now go to Mississippi State and Oklahoma. And you're looking at the same Auburn-like setup here, where you have to play these 2 teams on the road back-to-back, 2 teams that have proven that their outcomes can kind of be volatile enough to beat you, by double digits. And so do you give back the good that you've done here over the past week and a half by losing those games on the road? Yes, you would, if that was the scenario. And then it's maybe a winner, you're out type scenario against Arkansas at home on next Saturday, which you don't want either, knowing how good Arkansas has been. So this is a tricky finish for Missouri. And in all honesty, again, they'd be in right now, but I don't think they'd be safely in. And that's why every single game, I think, is going to matter for them down the stretch. And I just have a sort of sense that they're going to lose one of these games on the road coming up between those 2. And if that happens, it gets a lot more interesting, just because Missouri fans have asked me a lot. They're like, well, why are we this and why are we that? I'm like, guys, it's very simple. Missouri's non-conference strength of schedule is 350. And it's just, that does not help you at all. No matter who you've beaten this time of year, you still are looking at the full body of work. And that non-conference schedule is hurting them a bit. So and think about this, guys. They've beaten Florida. They've beaten Kentucky on the road. They've beaten Auburn. They've beaten A&M on the road. They've beaten Vanderbilt, and they've beaten Tennessee. And we're still talking about a team right now that is trying to play their way into the NCAA tournament. A lot of it has to do with that non-conference strength schedule.
Yeah, it's a great point. We're talking to Blake Level, Southeastern 16, and that's a good segue. Alabama gets Mississippi State tonight. Bama right now doesn't have any bad losses. The closest would be Texas, but you don't want to drop this game on at home with Alabama's got 2 really tricky road games coming up against Tennessee, who's going to be angry about what happened last night, and then Georgia, who's really had a good week last week, Blake.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's still clearly playing for a top 4 seed. I think they can absolutely, get one of those 4s without question, just kind of based on the way things have been trending with some of the teams around them also. And you are competing against Tennessee. You're competing against Arkansas, Vanderbilt. Those teams have just all kind of been jumbled together. I think, in that, last four, first couple five type seed range. So that's what you're playing for here. And I think for Alabama, I said it a couple weeks ago. I'm like, it sets up so well for them that if they can just win the games they're supposed to win and then see what happens at Tennessee, I think they're going to wind up being right there. And, whether it's an SEC title or something like that, you really would need Florida to slip up, which I don't think is completely out of the realm of possibility with the Gators based on their remaining schedule. But, I think Alabama obviously has been playing a lot better. And this just seems like a team that I think is, we mentioned all year long, it's really just been about health for Alabama and just not ever knowing who's in, who's out. But that's why I think Nate Oates has done a good job kind of navigating that. And now you're taking advantage of what is a pretty, advantageous schedule here. And I don't have a great sense that Mississippi State's going to come out on the road here and put up, much competition for Alabama. I just think this is the kind of game that Alabama wins handily. We already saw that game, about a month and a half ago in Starkville. So I think Alabama wins this one, and really all eyes are on that game at Tennessee on Saturday, because that could be the one that, again, if they win that one, I think that probably locks up a top 4 seed for them.
Blake, when you wake up this morning and you look at the SEC and you look at their tournament chances, realistically, how many teams out of this conference right now going into tonight's games do you think have earned or will be in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I was sold on 10. Then I had some optimism that it was going to be 11. But I'll be honest, I think Auburn losing last night, I think one of these teams, and it may not be Auburn, they may play their way back in. But I think between Auburn, Missouri, maybe Texas A&M, or maybe even Texas. I'm not going to discount the idea that Texas could somehow fall out of this thing either, because their remaining schedule is pretty brutal. So I'm going to say one of those teams does not get in. And I think that's the way it's trending right now. The SEC last year, if you remember, had every bounce go their way in the final couple weeks of the season. The teams that needed to win to get in won. You've seen that a little bit here over the past several weeks, but now I think you're starting to see, okay, Auburn gives one away. Who's going to be the next team that does that? And like I mentioned, it could be Missouri based on their upcoming schedule. So I think from that standpoint, there's probably one of that group that's going to get left out. And so I'll say it's going to be 10, but I also think there's a very realistic possibility that you could have 2 SEC teams in Dayton. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at this point, because I just believe that is kind of where we're trending here. And, again, it's all about schedules too. And looking at some of these remaining schedules, it's a tough path for some of these teams that are probably slotted around that 10 seed, maybe last 4 in type scenario right now.
How big a game is it for Texas at home against Florida? I think they're in, but this could really hammer it home.
Yeah, if they win this one, I think they're going to be in, because, it also becomes about how do you do the rest of the way. That's important, but it's also kind of, well, what are the losses that are going to hurt you? I don't think losing at A&M and at Arkansas would hurt Texas all that much. They need to beat Oklahoma next Saturday. But if they win this one tonight, I think that gives them the signature kind of win they're looking for at this time, because that's the thing. Texas had a great month or so. But if you really look at it, their best win probably has been, January 10th and January 14th. That's at Alabama and home against Vanderbilt. Other than that, some of these other wins are decent, but they're not those kind of wins. Tonight would obviously be that, and they need another one of those, because Texas is a team too. Look at their non-conference strength of schedule. They're around 315 or something like that. The only decent win, and I mean all other wins came outside of teams that were in top 250, top 300 type range. NC State was the only win on their non-conference resume that does anything for them whatsoever. And so that's where they're kind of in that Missouri boat of they just need to keep racking up good wins, and they've got opportunities down the stretch, so that helps. And I think Texas could be a dangerous team. We always have fun with this, guys. We do our gut bracket every week, and we just kind of go through, no analysis. We just kind of pick. And, yesterday we all of a sudden had Texas in the Sweet 16 because we're they have the makeup of a team that can be good enough to beat anybody because of their offense. But their defense can also leave a lot to be desired. So it just depends with them, but I think they do have a shot to win this game tonight.
Well, and then for my final question is, Another one that intrigues me is Arkansas A&M. A&M is, I think, Bucky McMillan's getting the most out of that roster, but Arkansas responded after the gut wrencher against Alabama, and they're still very much alive for that 2 seed in the SEC.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, Arkansas just looked so good. And again, fair, unfair. I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of people that came out of that double overtime game against Alabama and still said, hey, I look at Arkansas and I don't feel any worse. In fact, I probably feel better about them after a game like that, just based on the performance. And then you look at A&M. I mean, it's a team where you just have such a wide range of outcomes right now. You know, a lot of that's going to be based on, can they knock down shots? And also, can they force turnovers? And I think that's where, like, matchup-wise, tonight, it does seem like one that really sets up nicely for Arkansas because they are the best at taking care of the ball. A&M, if they can't force enough of those turnovers, I think it's just difficult on them to really try to slow down this Arkansas team. But they could come out and go 15-38 from three and, you know, win this game in Fayetteville. So it's just like you don't really know exactly how this will play out. And A&M's a team to keep an eye on because you want to talk about a team that's not really done themselves any favors over the past month. Yeah, it's nice to get off the 4-game losing streak, but those wins are against Ole Miss and Oklahoma. And the wins before that, you know, there's a combination of Mississippi State, South Carolina, and at Georgia, which looks better right now. But they just haven't done a lot for their resume over the past month. So they have to find a way to win, I think, at least a couple of these games if they want to feel comfortable. I don't know if it happens at Arkansas tonight, but they got 2 great chances after that against Texas and Kentucky at home. So I think A&M will finally sort of play their way into this thing. But just keep an eye on it. If they were to lose this game tonight, drop one of those home games, then maybe things get a little bit tricky for them as we head into Selection Sunday.
Well, it's the best time of year for hoop heads. And if you want to see some quality SEC basketball conversation, check out Southeastern 16. Let everybody know how to follow your work, Blake.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Southeastern 16 on YouTube. Find us over there, daily SEC basketball stuff. And, yeah, lots of stuff to discuss here as we get ready coming up for the SEC tournament in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, guys.
Let's get a break in, shall we? 256-576-4977. Plenty to get to. College football conversation, rules changes. There's no shortage of stuff to throw out there. Somebody's also $25,000 lighter in the wallet.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City in Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. And check us out at cpcfamily.org.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
More savings, more selection, more for your trade. I'm Bobby White, and we've got more to love all month long at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. While they last, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 F-150 crew cabs. $11,000 off F-150. Save more on remaining 25 Mustangs, up to $8,500 off MSRP on select models. Yep, $8,500 off on a Mustang. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2025 Explorers, up to $10,000 off. New 25 Bronco Sport start under $27,000. That's right, just $26,800 after a $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. New 25 Broncos start at just $36,500. That's $36,500 after the $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. And there's never any hidden markups or dock fees. All these offers with your good credit, and we hope to see you soon at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline indicator, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
More exciting than breakfast and a lot more enjoyable to cook, brunch is ideal for sharing.
Brunch with the Big Dog, the Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays starting at 10 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on
George Harrison.
Yep.
Beetle.
8:23 here.
What in the hell is that?
What is what?
It looks like a reject from a bad Superman movie. Is that the Miz?
It's a wrestler.
Is that Miz?
Looks like he should be in a Barbie movie.
I don't know. I mean, what in the hell is that? White hair and then the stupid suit he's got on with the suspenders. Who is it? I don't know. I don't follow wrestling like I used to. Who in the blue blazes is that?
It looks like a toy figurine. I mean, that head looks plastic.
It's Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
His head looks
the late
plastic.
Dusty Rhodes' son, right? Or is it Dustin Rhodes' son? I know it's the Rhodes family. I can't keep up, but I mean, he's maybe the late Dusty Rhodes. That may be his grandfather. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with him.
Dusty Rhodes is his father.
Oh my God, I'm getting so old.
Oh.
I am getting so old.
All right, so college football conversation. I want to bring this up because on Monday when you were gone, we mentioned that Alabama has added Georgia State to the football calendar.
Right.
So they're going to have to drop a game.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably going to be Ohio State, and everybody's raising hell.
Well, I bring that up because it's either Oklahoma State or Ohio State, most likely.
Ohio State, probably. They can go stick.
Ross Bjork.
I know. Please don't do it. And then they're gonna say Alabama's yelling and all this stuff.
Yeah, Ross Bjork said
one time ever.
Ross Bjork has all but dared Alabama to live up to its end of the bargain.
Because he knows they're going to drop them.
Yep, saying that Ohio State has no intention of ducking Alabama. And Alabama, it's your move, basically. He goes, we expect the 2-game series to be played. We should never be afraid to play anybody. We're Ohio State. People probably should be afraid to play us, right?
How many times have they beaten Alabama ever?
1.
How many times has Ross Bjork left his job as athletic director? Talking about running. I mean, my God, he ran from Ole Miss, then he ran from A&M. Now he's at Ohio State. Congratulations. Where are you going to be tomorrow? Shut up, you moron.
So Alabama had Ohio State, Oklahoma State, and Tennessee Martin on the books before they scheduled Georgia State.
They're playing 9 games. I can't help it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Only leaves room for 3 non-conference games. So one of them is going to have to be dropped.
No.
Ross Bjork says, don't make it Ohio State.
Well, probably will be, so who cares? It's just the way it is. You guys win national championships every decade once. You don't win multiples. You didn't win this year. You choked again. So, got your butts handed to you. You went about as far as Alabama did. Congratulations. Bah ha ha. You and Texas were supposed to be the 2 best teams. That's all I kept hearing.
Yeah.
I kept hearing. all I kept hearing was, heck, they were calling Ohio State 3/4 of the way through the regular season, maybe the best team ever. And then they finally beat the Michiganders. And what happens? Miami hands them their butts. And they didn't just get beat, they got whipped. Okay? So, no, Alabama's not scared of anybody, but they play in a much tougher conference. I don't care that the Big Ten's won 3 in a row. Congratulations. It's still not as deep as the SEC. The top of the Big Ten the last 3 years has been better. Yes, that is a fact. Is it as deep? No. Would Ohio State ever go undefeated in the SEC? No, they would not. They would lose games every year because they don't play the Northwesterns of the world, okay, and the Rutgers of the world. Sorry. Vanderbilt has been a bottom dweller. They're not anymore.
No.
It's a fact. It would, maybe Ohio State would, maybe one time they could go undefeated in the SEC, maybe, but I doubt it. They would still be a power, no question about it. Not questioning that. I'm just saying they're not going to go undefeated. All right? They're just not. Heck, it took them, almost firing Ryan Day. I mean, if he had lost to Tennessee, he would have gotten fired in the playoff last year.
Oh, that's right. That's
he
right.
Couldn't beat Michigan. It took him, several years. How many in a row had they lost to Michigan? What was it, 4 or 5?
A bunch, yeah.
I mean, they've been getting their tails handed to them by Michigan after, Harbaugh, couldn't beat them with a 10-foot pole. Now, how did Harbaugh beat them? We'll never know. I mean, I got a pretty good idea a couple of times, but still, with wild stallions over there.
They wouldn't cheat to win, would they?
Of course they would. That's why they're the Crookereens. They're probably cheating in basketball too. I mean, my God, pre-NIL, Chris Webber wants to talk about how broke he was when I think he had $600,000 in the freaking bank. He and Jalen Rose both.
They didn't cheat to get the Fab Five.
Yes, they did. Just Google it.
Oh, that's right. Didn't they have to take down the banners?
Yes, they did. And that just shows you they were guilty. Whatever the hell that damn booster's name was in the great city of Detroit, wherever the hell he was from.
Oh, man. Who was that?
Some rich guy.
Fab Five booster.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Martin.
Ed Martin. Come on down. You're the next contestant on How Much Did You Pay the Fab Five on The Price is Right.
Oh, boy.
And I loved watching the Fab Five. Got nothing but love for them. They couldn't beat Duke, though, which is hilarious. But
couldn't beat North Carolina either.
Timeouts they ain't got. So.
Well, we do have a timeout we can call.
Yeah.
They are like gold around here, as Coach Studeman said, but we do have a few each hour that we get to burn. So we're going to call one now. When we come back, phone lines are still open to you, 256-576-4977. You can join the program here on a Wednesday morning. Coming up at the top of the hour, Brian Matthews will join us. We'll delve more into that embarrassing loss for Auburn last night. We got other stuff to get through as well, more football conversation and college basketball conversation. We've only just touched the tip of the iceberg. It's Talkin Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. More cloud cover this afternoon. Temperatures climbing, though, into the upper 50s and lower 60s, right around where we should be this time of year. A couple of scattered showers are certainly going to be possible, but the better opportunity for rain is going to begin to move into the Tennessee Valley on Thursday. Thursday does look like it is going to be a wash as of right now. We're talking about rain Thursday morning, afternoon, and evening, though temperatures climbing into the mid-60s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
All right, welcome back. 8:35 on a Wednesday morning.
And we were just checking. It was 4 in a row for the Ohio State Buckeyes to lose to the Crookereens before they won 27-9 in Ann Arbor this year in a boring football game that I watched that was like paint drying.
Oh,
it was bad. So
let's see here. There's one thing I want to bring up. So we mentioned that the rules committee is going to start looking at the targeting rules and all that other stuff. One of the other areas that I forgot to mention, and this just tells you that there are a lot of things that the NCAA needs to fix and the college rules probably need to fix. One of the other things that they're going to look at is short shorts. The big point of a big point of focus at the meetings. It's going to be the seldom enforced.
This thing above the knees thing.
Yes.
Like the stupid kicker from Oklahoma.
Yes.
Who in his
wearing the Daisy
Dukes after he strutted around all year, thought he was something, and then against Alabama
Tate Sandell. Tate
You'll never
Sandell.
forget it either.
Yeah.
Choked his butt off.
According to some of that, have gone on to the record going into the meeting saying it's embarrassing. It's been degrading every year. I don't know how much higher his pants can go, talking about Tate Sandell.
Why are we not talking about like trying to get this thing fixed from an NIL perspective? Who cares about how short somebody's shorts are? This is stupid.
It hasn't been enforced because nobody has cared to do it.
Who cares?
Game officials say they have too many other things to worry about, and coaches do as well.
Yes.
And so conferences haven't stepped up to help with the enforcement. Maybe Greg Sankey can put out an affidavit about that. The NFL has specific officials at games to monitor equipment violations, but the college does not. They don't have that.
But yet we just figured out at the NCAA that people tamper. You know, people tamper, you know.
Yeah.
They call kids in the middle of classes, hey, have you signed your papers yet? Well, I know you're in class.
Even if you haven't,
what's your buyout?
Yeah. We just figured.
But let's worry about the short shorts here.
The Daisy Dukes.
What was that stupid commercial? Was it Nair?
Oh.
I started thinking about that. And you're going to find it, I'm sure.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that Nair commercial that was so
Nair.
Yeah. It said something about short shorts. That clicked in my brain, you know.
Oh my goodness!
One of these.
Who is it? I think this is it. I think this is it. Here we gotta. It's probably gonna have to play it. Nope. Here we go. Let's see if this is it. It is it, but I gotta get it to the. Don't give me a second.
It's probably
give me
one
a second.
channel or something.
No, I gotta get it to the roadcaster. Here we go. So this is.
Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. If you dare wear short shorts, Nair for short shorts.
If you want your legs short shorts bare without nicks and cuts, just take up the Nair and take off the hair.
If you dare wear short shorts, Nair for short shorts.
Nair, lotion, cream, foam, and blue lemon spray. Nair.
I don't remember the lemon spray part.
I don't either, but I tell you what, though, if college football players want to wear short shorts, they should shave the legs. And then you wonder how many of them will keep wearing the short shorts.
Our Josh Niblett shaved his body.
Just take up the Nair and take off the hair.
Hey, that's what I was told.
What the heck?
I don't care.
What the heck?
He's not even in our state anymore, but I'm going to put that out there. That's what I was told. Not going to give up the source.
Why do we go with a Colorado tight ends coach?
Because he's full of it.
Oh, my gosh. But anyway, that is something on the rules committee that they're going to discuss is the short shorts in college football.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have to be paid per interview, Josh Niblett, at this point.
Oh my goodness. It's not like we've got everything else to worry about in college football, but let's get Jason on the phone lines this morning. Good morning, Jason.
Do you remember the Nair commercial, Jason?
I do.
There you
that
go. There you go. He remembers.
If you got an ex-wife, you really want to do something, pour Nair in her shampoo.
Uh-oh. Did you do that?
Oh, wow.
Are you are you outing yourself?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm just good revenge thing.
Oh, so I guess you heard that from someone. That's interesting. I've never
it would
heard
take
that.
it would take the hair off their head.
Oh, yeah.
You would shampoo with Nair and it would take the hair off the head.
That wouldn't be good.
No.
And if your wife spends too much money at the beauty salon, there's a way to save money.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't really want to get a lot of guys in trouble.
No, we're not trying to do that, man.
No.
Hey,
but, Valentine's Day just was in the rear view here.
How would you like to be a scholarship kickoff returner? No booty shorts is the last one that's going to tackle you for a touchdown before you get a touchdown. He brings you down. That'd be embarrassing.
Well, I'm sure you'd hear about it in the film room.
Hey, Drew, I got one. You're a basketball junkie, right?
Yeah.
All right. I've been watching this Red Bay team, and they got a kid called Khalil Luster, and he's a 6'8", 10th grader. Have you heard anything on him?
I've heard a little bit. I started hearing about him this year. I haven't seen him play. I can't say that I've seen him, but I heard he dominated the regional. Certainly the Red Bay Tigers are headed, after winning at Wallace, they're headed to the Final Four. And yeah, I've heard the kids got some ability. I'd like to see him play in the Final Four and finally get a look at it. But I started hearing about him this year.
Yeah, I'm bad basketball junkie, and I have found this network on YouTube called the Jack Ivy Network.
Yeah.
And they showed his game. He had 35 points and he had like 8 threes in his last game. He's a legit 6'8". He's the biggest one on the court.
Yeah, I mean,
who's it? I know Section's the 2A, right?
Yes.
Who's it? Is R.C. Hatch or Francis Marion make it?
I'd have to get Scott to check the brackets. I've tried to keep up with the Northeast and the Northwest, but I haven't kept up with the Central and the South.
Which one?
He's talking about 2A. Who's on because we know the section lines are getting there, and he just mentioned the Red Bay
R.C. Hatch and Francis Marion. Is that it?
Yeah, well, R.C. Hatch has got another really good team. We know, of course, former.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like R.C. Hatch won over Francis Marion 55-42.
Yeah, that's two traditional powers there. And R.C. Hatch, of course, is the alma mater of our good friend.
But I don't know if that was
and Irwin Dudley.
Yeah. So R.C. Hatch boys took on South Lamar in the finals, and R.C. Hatch won R.C. Hatch got the W 60-51 in the regional finals. So they were headed to the Final Four as R.C. Hatch.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, they'll play, if they was the Southwest, they'll play the Northeast, so they'll draw section first.
Theotis Dudley.
Yeah, the Northeast, and the Northwest are on the opposite side. So in theory, if they win, section could play Red Bay.
So did you say Dudley was from R.C. Hatch?
Irwin Dudley.
Yeah, Theotis Dudley is on the roster for R.C. Hatch now. So I'm wondering if that is,
One best basketball games I ever seen was in Birmingham, and they had a point guard for R.C. Hatch on the girls' team called Shamika Dudley.
Oh.
Played Cold Springs, and Cold Springs had an outstanding team. This one kid, I mean, she carried him, and to win the ball game, she hit a short shot from half court to win the game.
Oh, wow.
Great guy. Great. All right, I'll let y'all go.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, let's 844. Wow. 256-576. If you want to join the program this morning, let's get a break in. 845. Let's get a break in. We'll wrap up hour number 2 when we return.
Okay, I've been told before we leave, but 1 second, that's Irwin's nephew. Figured it out.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
When you're craving a juicy, made-to-order burger with all your favorite toppings, it's time to head to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Fresh, never-frozen, hand-formed patties, crispy, fresh-cut fries, savory hot dogs, and topped off with an ice-cold real milkshake. Five Guys knows what you like. Come and get it in Huntsville on North Parkway and on Enterprise, and in Madison on Moonshot Drive and Highway 72. Order online at fiveguys.com or just walk in. Five Guys. Perfection every time. The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Midtown District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Midtown District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at woodyAndersonFord.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Is some Billy Idol here?
Yep.
Eyes without a face.
So, did you see that you frequent McDonald's every now and then?
Yeah.
Did you see that they're unveiling a new special burger?
What's it called?
It's going to be called the Arch Burger.
The Arch Burger?
Yeah, the big Arch Burger. It's coming in March. It's coming in March.
This isn't about Arch Manning, is it? Okay.
It's going to be for a limited time starting Tuesday, March 3rd.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of attention for its size. 2 quarter-pound beef patties.
Dang.
3 slices of melted white cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
They call it the biggest and boldest burger yet.
But wait a minute, man. I thought they had a double quarter pounder.
And it's got lettuce, pickles, slivered onions, dressed with Big Arch sauce.
What the hell's Big Arch sauce?
It's a tangy, creamy sauce with a perfect blend of mustard, pickle, and sweet tomato flavor.
There's Scott's radio voice there for his voiceover.
Yeah. Comes on a toasted sesame and poppy seed bun. It's truly the most McDonald's burger yet, says the company.
Well, that's interesting. Might try it. I didn't know that was coming. I can't have the lettuce and the tomatoes, though. They got to get rid of it. 2
quarter-pound beef patties.
Yeah. But I thought they did that with a double quarter pounder, though, man. I mean, I've had the double quarter pounder a few times.
But does the double quarter pounder come with all of the toppings on top of it and the sauce?
Crap. Not the new cheese and this crazy sauce they created.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I will tell you this, man. I stayed up last night after the SEC basketball. They do that True South stuff on ESPNU. You've probably seen it. It's on the SEC network.
Right.
And they went to St. Simon's Island, Georgia, man. And they this old school drive-in, Scott, Frosties, chili dogs, and it sounded like they had milkshakes like the ones at the freaking Big Chief.
Ooh.
Man, I was hungry watching them cook all that food. And these crinkle fries, these special crinkle fries.
Is there nothing better than
to go to St. Simon's?
Is there nothing better than going to a drive-in or a diner?
Yeah.
And getting the perfectly cooked crinkle cut fry?
Well, see, they talked to the owner of this place.
Yeah.
And he said, well, he grew up going to a joint that was a 50s style diner. But what he wanted to do was he wanted to remember kind of the diner that he went to, that the way it was set up by the time he started going to it, which was a 70s style. it had morphed into a 70s style, and he wanted to create another 70s style diner, music, food, they created the food and everything. And that's what they did with this Frosties joint. And so it was a really good looking place. And they make those old school chili dogs,
the kind you had in Noblesville, Indiana.
Yeah,
is that the old school?
Pretty much. And you can still find them at a couple of places in Huntsville,
right?
Certainly you can.
Mullins used to have when I first got
Cafe.
When I first got to town, everybody was telling me you got to go to Mullins Cafe if you want some greasy, like just pure greasy food, and it was the onion rings and chili dogs.
An Italian joint.
No, I think it's an Indian joint.
Is
now.
it now?
Yeah, it's changed hands a bunch of times.
Mullins was around for a long time because our good friend, the late Jerry Dugan, and his crew used to go there every morning.
Yeah.
They had good breakfast too, by the way. But Mullins, you could find them at Mullins, and now you can find them at Big Spring Cafe.
So there's
that kind of stuff.
Two places that I really got to thinking about the other day that I miss a lot.
Right.
Mullins and Aunt Eunice's.
Mm-hmm.
The country ham biscuits from Aunt Eunice's.
Yeah.
I just was like driving around the other day and I was like, man, I miss some Aunt Eunice's country ham biscuits. Miss that. For those that have been around Huntsville long enough, they know they remember Aunt Eunice. 256-576-4977.
I don't know that I ate there, man. I hate that
really?
I missed it.
Oh my gosh, that you would go in there. I mean, the place was I mean, it's just about as big as what we have here. I mean, it was very tiny. And you walk in there and she'd be working and we'd go in there all the time and get a dozen or a half dozen or just country ham biscuits. Oh my gosh, they were so they were good.
Yeah.
That was my indoctrination into country ham.
Right.
Which at times feels like I'm eating a salt palate.
No, it just depends on.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on who cooks it or how it's done.
Right.
But Aunt Eunice's, Mullins, I was missing that one. We put that on Facebook the other day. What restaurants have you missing in this area?
Yeah.
A lot. And people were putting the fog cutter. Did you ever go to the fog cutter?
The fog cutter when I was a kid. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember going there getting good burgers.
Too.
Oh, steak and burgers at the fog cutter was fantastic.
We always went for steaks, man.
Uh-huh.
Cheeseburger was a classic for me. Over in Madison.
Yeah. The first time I ate at a cheeseburger was in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, Huntsville needs one. And it was several years, but Huntsville and then Madison got one. And they were fantastic. They were great. But a lot of people were commenting on a lot of former places that we used to have here in town. All right. Just about done with hour number 2. When we come back here in a little bit, Brian Matthews will join the program. We'll break down even more on that Auburn debacle from last night and what he thinks they have to do. Plus, Auburn baseball had some good results.
Yeah, they got West Georgia tonight, but man, that trip to Arlington went well.
Yeah. Who we got, Brody? Oh, no one? All right. I didn't know if we had anybody.
We've been talking about St. Simon's Island and Frosties and good food. Why not?
Well, I mean, because it is that time for good food. Feeling like eating again. I hadn't felt all that spectacular the last couple of days. So it's just been kind of like, now I'm just like, okay, the appetite's back. We're feeling good. We're ready to go. And it's the first thing that kind of comes to my mind. All right, Brian Matthews coming up in hour number 3. We'll get his thoughts on last night, plus touch a little Auburn baseball as well.
Yep.
We got 60 more minutes to do all of this. We're going to try to do it. All that and more. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
4-time Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, performing live March 19th at the BBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Every show is a new experience.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This hour of Talkin Ball is brought to you by Hyundai Decatur, located on the Beltline.
In the market for a newer used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hi, welcome back, Talkin Ball. Our good friends over at University Hyundai in Decatur, Greenway Hyundai. They want to see you drive away in a Hyundai. They are the official providers for hour number 3 here on Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. And we talked a lot in hour number 1, recapped Auburn's tough loss last night on the road to Oklahoma in a game that saw the Sooners. Now, the one thing we can say, and this is something that has been a trend for a while with Auburn.
Yeah.
Teams that play Auburn tend to shoot between a minimum 5% better from behind the arc. That was a trend going into this ball game. And I'm going to say that Oklahoma does not normally shoot 68% from behind the arc. They were 13 of 19 last night in that ball game. Even if you shoot 5% better than your season average, you still don't get 68%. There's no way Oklahoma came in shooting 63% for the season. So that just tells you that, number one, either Oklahoma was extremely hot or Auburn's defense just did not do what they were supposed to do when they were supposed to do it.
Well, when you're coming out in a game that you don't need a second bad loss, because you had one at Mississippi State several days ago, you can't come out and give up 48 in the first half. And they did that. And it didn't set a good, vibe for the ball game and precedent. They did make a run and they got back in the game. It was 48-42 at half after they were down double digits early. But then they came back out of the locker room, dug another double-digit deficit, and they got down by as many as 17. Now, they never quit fighting, but I just didn't think they played with an edge like we saw against Florida, like we saw against Arkansas. They've beaten St. John's as well. They have some really good wins, but and up until a couple of weeks ago, they didn't have any bad losses, but now they have two, and now their backs are firmly against the wall. And we're going to talk to our next guest, who, of course, since 2001 has been a part of Auburn sports and covered Auburn and been with auburnsports.com, which is now part of the Rivals and On3 network. We're going to talk some Auburn baseball. Much happier, things going on right now with Auburn baseball and Butch Thompson and the way they responded, in Texas this past weekend. But right now, Auburn, their backs are against the wall and they're playing their way onto the bubble and really don't have any room for error in the next week or so. And we're going to talk about that right now. Brian, good morning.
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Morning, Brian.
That was a little discouraging last night, Brian. I remember telling you I thought it was a trap game for Auburn, but just really disturbing the way they played last night.
Yeah, I thought it was very uninspired the way they played. The players look unattached, right? Like they're not really into it. You didn't see them celebrating together or really working together. It's just like a bunch of individuals out there to me, my observation of it. And, it's not it shouldn't be surprising. It's not a freak thing that another team has shot well from 3-point land against Auburn. It seems like the first possession, every Auburn opponent is knocking down a big three, and then it just blows up from there. I mean, they have just struggled mightily to defend the perimeter shots, and I just this team has really kind of hit a wall and taken some steps backward here as we get into the end of February going into March.
You look at this team, right? You would say it's at a crossroads now, but I think it's almost to the point now where their season is clearly on the line on which way they want it to go. But the thing is how much do you think Stephen Pearl's just trying to hold this thing together with anything he can? Because it seems like he says a message in the post-game press conference. We hear his messages, but it sometimes seems like the players are zigging and zagging when they're not all on the same page.
Yeah, he called his team selfish and entitled. Pretty harsh words. Said he's going to ratchet up the intensity in practice this week, which, this team obviously needs that, right? But and maybe I'm being unfair here, but to me, you set the standard in the summer and preseason practice, right? And then you hold the players to that standard. And I'm just wondering if maybe they didn't quite get that done to the level it needed to be. And that's why Auburn's had these, different personnel and off the court issues pop up during the season. And this team, continue to be so uninspired at times and so up and down, so inconsistent. I just, I'd be very concerned that, maybe LSU or is it LSU Ole Miss? Yeah, one of those teams could just end Auburn's season, here within the next week. And that would not surprise me at all the way they're playing right now.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Blake Lovell told us from Southeastern 16 that Auburn is firmly on the bubble and that if they lose to either one of these next two games, he thinks no matter what happens against Alabama, and then they would have to win multiple games in the SEC tournament or they're done.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Auburn folks are a little fed up with this team.
Yeah.
Neville, it'll probably be a sellout, but I'd be surprised if it's packed out and noisy in that intense atmosphere that we've seen, for so many years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Ole Miss Saturday, LSU Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way they're playing right now. If one of those two teams comes to play, the season could be over, and it would not surprise me at all. They just really look like a team. Not all the players, but as a team, look like some of them are just going through the motions out there.
Yeah, and it just kind of, you went into that Oklahoma game feeling, okay, I know the Kentucky game ended the way it did, but you got a home win, and you would think no matter how it ended, you would go into excitement, a little bit of playing with your hair on fire, so to speak. And you watch that game, and you even alluded to it. First 5 minutes into the game, you just got a sense that there were players out there that just didn't even care they were playing on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I agree. It was tough to watch, right? And you almost knew from the get-go, even though Auburn was hot offensively to start, because Oklahoma was getting the easy shots and the easy buckets, you're like, this is not going to last. Auburn cannot get in a three-point shooting, contest with any team on their schedule. They're just not good enough to do that, and it showed as the game went on. Auburn started missing those shots, started, being stagnant on offense, really struggles moving the ball. That they get it to one player, and that player starts dribbling around and trying to drive in, and the offense just kind of dies right then and there. So, yeah, I just think this team has a lot of problems, but I think the number one problem is just playing together, having that chemistry, having that player leadership. I think all those things are really missing right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I got to give Stephen Pearl credit. He's been very transparent in his media opportunities, and then we've seen he certainly called out Tahad Pettiford earlier this season. It seemed to work. Tahad for about 3 weeks played very well, but yet the last two games against Kentucky, even though they won the game, and then last night he was a no-show, and then we had the issues with Keyshawn Hall. He did suspend him though, but like I have said, though, you can see and even when Bruce Pearl first got to Auburn because he had to fix the program, Nate Oates got to Alabama, there's always bumps in the road when your first year, but this has been turbulent.
It has been. And, we'll see. I don't think he's in trouble right now with his job, and
I wouldn't
see if he can bring his type of players I think who have more length, can play defensively better on the perimeter, and bring in a rim protector that maybe he can build a better product and compete a little bit better. But this team just doesn't have it, and they'll be very fortunate if they can get in the tournament. I'd just be surprised if they do anything special in March. I just really would, just the way they play. And, it's just, you take a guy like Keyshawn Hall, I don't mean to pick on a player, but he had 26 points. He shot 7 of 10, 11 free throws, 1 of 1 3-point field goals. All those numbers look great, but he had 6 turnovers. And I don't have a defensive rating on him, but he's not a guy that excels at that end of the floor at all. So it's just too many guys like that don't play complete games, right? They may score, but they don't defend or rebound. They turn the ball over. It's just, Pettiford 1 of 9.
Yeah,
it's 1 of 9, assists, 2 turnovers. That's just it's not good. Auburn defense only 9 turnovers against Oklahoma. That's really bad. Auburn, that's not they need to play the way they own that they can win a game against a good team. And Oklahoma's not a good team.
Well, and it's a small thing, Brian, but I was watching the last several minutes of the ball game, and then even at the end, and why are you worried about it? Just dribble the clock out. Keyshawn Hall dunks the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It makes you think, are you
what I'm talking about?
The points you got? Like,
yeah. Yep. It's a lot of individual out there. It's not a team right now.
Well, and Brian, here's the thing. I mean, we're talking about this, and we're talking about how, it's just it's been disappointing at times. They've looked good at times. They've beaten some top 25 teams. They've had some impressive wins, and we're talking about this. But this is all the standard that Bruce Pearl helped create at Auburn. That's the reason why you're looking at it saying all this is disappointing. This is year one for Stephen Pearl. You would have to imagine, though, on the flip side, there was going to be some bumps in the road. I mean, you had a Final Four team, one of the greatest teams that Auburn has ever had. You lose 90% of that. You knew there was going to be some kind of bumps in the road, but did you think that we'd have like these kind of humps?
No, but I wasn't sure, but I do think that's fair to say that for Stephen Pearl. I do think he has deserves, earns, whatever. He's going to get an opportunity to change this, right? He is a first-year coach. He is stepping out of a very big shadow of his dad, and sometimes that can be a pretty big step you have to take. And clearly, he's still in the process of doing that right now. So I don't know if he can get there or not. We'll see. But Yeah, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough first year for him, and you hope when he goes through something like this, he learns a lot. He can apply it going forward, and he can put better team on the floor next year.
Yeah, no question. But they still have a lot to play for. And, I would be disappointed. Now, you said there you don't know what you're going to get from this team, but two very winnable games against Ole Miss and LSU. Now, two teams that if Auburn does not defend with intensity could take them to the wire, and they certainly got taken to the wire by South Carolina at home. But it'll be interesting to see if Stephen Pearl can finally reach this group. They've got to win the next two games.
That's a great point about reaching this group. I just, why can't this team, knowing they're going to Oklahoma and playing for a spot in the tournament, maybe why aren't they showing up with that intensity on defense that they know they have to play with to win? I just, why can't they? I think it's after every game we hear about, they weren't executing the game plan. Well, why not? At some point, it's not the players' fault; it's the coach's fault for not holding them accountable. So, I hate to be too negative here because maybe, there were some factors there. There was a tough game against Kentucky, a long trip, a quick turnaround, et cetera, et cetera. So that was a tough 48 hours there to handle. They didn't handle it well, but that they're going to have to win two at home, and they might be in a position where they're going to be on the bubble. But that game at Alabama to end the season, if they do beat Ole Miss and LSU, is going to be quite a big one for Auburn.
Well, obviously a lot to react to with basketball and a lot to react to going forward. But Brian, on the other side, the baseball team goes to Houston, and wow, did they put on a good little show there?
They really did. Got the nice sweep, beat two top 10, 15 teams in Florida State and Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
You can see their bats starting to come around. The pitching has been excellent from game one, inning one. Jake Marciano continues to look like a true blue Friday night starter. I think it's 20 strikeouts and no walks so far, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he's given up one run in 16 innings, something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but just an amazing start for that staff. And they're showing they've got some depth, and they should be getting Griffin Graves back real soon too, who was projected to be a one or two starter and could be a big piece in the bullpen if they decide to go that way for him. So, there's a lot of excitement. They've got West Georgia coming in tonight, I believe.
Georgia,
and then
yep.
they've got Nebraska coming in for a 3-game series. Nebraska was also out in Arlington. They played some of the same teams Auburn did. They won 1 out of 3, but they had some very competitive games too against Kansas State, and I think they also lost to Louisville, I believe. But I think they beat Florida State 10-1, something like that. So they're a pretty solid team, and they'll have a good scouting report on Auburn for sure.
Yeah, and with Nebraska, they're usually a regional team. At least they've been solid. Now, I think it's kind of hurt them leaving the Big 12 and going to the Big 10 to play baseball, but they're still pretty solid, and this should be a pretty good out of conference test for Auburn.
It should be, and Butch Thompson and his staff do a great job of scheduling. Right, they always have a very competitive pre-conference schedule. The SEC is loaded again, right? I mean, loaded. So it's going to be a very, very competitive conference season, and the more you can test this team, test your players, find out who is ready to play at the highest level and compete, the better for this team. And that's what they're finding out. I mean, they had some guys really step up in Arlington. Ethan Bingaman, the freshman, had the 2 home runs. I think he batted over 600. Bristol Carter was terrific in the leadoff spot, really setting the table, a bunch of walks, hits, stolen bases, hit a home run. And then Brandon McCrane has been just incredible. He's batting over 500 since stepping in for Chris Rembert at second base. And, you've got some young guys that maybe you weren't really penciling in as starters necessarily, really stepping up. Bristol Carter's not a young guy, but
Right.
that's a good sign, I think, for that lineup, which I felt was really deep going into the season.
Yeah, and there's no question about it. But we know that Auburn baseball off to a strong start. You really can't overreact. And besides, as we even pointed out when you joined us last week, Cincinnati has been a regional team. It was just discouraging the way they lost, but certainly responded in the right way. I know Butch Thompson was happy with that. Anytime you beat the high level of opponents they did in the Lone Star State, that's huge, and that's resume builders for you before getting into the meat grinder of the SEC. And then we're going to see how, Stephen Pearl, this, the defining, legacy of this team. I know it's been a frustrating one to watch, but they got one more chance, and we'll see if they can get to, the NCAA tournament in year one for him, which would be big. But certainly, Brian, we appreciate the time and the intel, and let everybody know how to follow you.
Appreciate it. And I'll be at the game, baseball game tonight. I have plenty of coverage of that, plenty of recruiting coverage. There's a lot of top prospects setting up official visits, and that's just around the corner. Spring practice starts in a couple of weeks. We'll have full coverage of that coming up. And, of course, basketball as we wind down the season. Maybe get into postseason. We'll see. And all that and more, auburnsports.com. You can follow me on Twitter/X at BMattAU.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
All right, let's get that break in, shall we? 9:17 here on a Wednesday morning. Good stuff there by Brian Matthews. 256-576-4977. You can join the program after this.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
9:21 on a Wednesday morning. Welcome back in. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Mandu Fitness. helping us with this segment here. The 15-minute Mandu electrical muscle workout over there in Providence. It's the first FDA-approved electrical muscle stimulation EMS training program in the country. Personalized fitness regimen, small classes, state-of-the-art studios. It's the safest, most effective alternative to a crowded gym. Mandu.com. They'll give you a free workout. All you got to do is log on to mandu.com and do it, or you can give them a call over there, the one in Providence. And I tell you what, 15 minutes, you're in, you're out. It's that quick. It's that easy. And you can be on with your day. I can leave here at 10. I can be home by 10:45, workout already in hand. All right. The Steve Spurrier first-year Coach of the Award was handed out the other night. And Dan Mullen brings home the Steve Spurrier Award for his work with UNLV in his first year there with the Rebels. But Kirby Smart was on hand. Mario Cristobal was on hand. And I don't know if it was planned. I don't know, but it was all supposed to be in fun. But Mario and Kirby Smart started it. Mario Cristobal finished it, so to speak. But take a listen at what happened.
Got to be careful around Mario. Sometimes he'll take your players, if you know what I mean.
It's a great piece right there to watch what a player like Carson Beck could do with great coaching. You know what I mean?
Mario's right behind him, and if it had been up to him, he would have paid a lot more NIL money because it came down to us too. So I don't like you being real close to Mario right now. You know what I'm saying?
Robinson family, great seeing you. We leave at 9:30 on the real jet. Okay. We have more than one restaurant in Miami as opposed to Athens, but we know we can get to that.
And he came up to me. He's like, "You ought to start getting on some protein shakes. You've had too many carbs." And I said, "Well, you probably ought to spend some time with Steve Spurrier because he won more conference championships at Duke than you have at Miami."
Did you reach the podium here? I don't know.
I got to get out of here before Mario goes because I don't want to hear any shit from him. So,
but no, you got to give a guy like Kirby credit. You know, I mean, when you have all that time to sit at home watching us play on TV throughout the playoffs, when you don't take care of business, but congratulations on the SEC and the championship. That's awesome. We were 5-0 against the SEC. I don't know what you were, but
there they go. The two trading.
I had heard part of it. I hadn't heard the whole thing or whatever you were playing there.
Yeah.
Didn't realize we were going to have to dump.
I didn't either. I didn't. I listened to 99% of it, and I did not realize
that was like a roast or something.
It was almost like it almost turned into a comedy roast between those two.
But
I don't think that's what it.
Together at Alabama, so they've known each other for a while.
Right. I don't think that's what it was intended to be.
No.
But they both took shots at each other.
Yeah.
I thought Mario Cristobal's, the one about coaching Carson Beck, was good. That one was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, they certainly had a lot of success against the SEC last year, but nobody remembers who finished second. So, just like we don't really remember the dynasty, the mini dynasty Miami had when they had a really good team in 2000, won it all in 2001, and then didn't finish against the Sucks in 2002. You know, they can talk about the flag in the end zone all they want, but they didn't win. Willis McGahee got hurt in that game. But I will say this, Mario Cristobal did a remarkable job last year in getting them turned around because I thought they had Miami'd again and choked it away with those losses last year to SMU and Louisville. But they still got in, and they should have, because they beat 1988 head-to-head early in the season. And so they were able to get it done. And then it certainly wasn't a Picasso, but they won in College Station 10-3. And then they whipped Ohio State. It's ironic. We talked about that earlier in the show. They just manhandled them. I didn't think they were better than Indiana. I thought Indiana would beat them. But I think by the end of the long stretch, and this is a very long season now, Miami was playing their best football, and they matched up the best against Indiana, played them a very competitive game, but didn't get it done. And now we'll see, if the Bush Leagues get better in football, and certainly I don't know that I didn't hear them mention, the Duke situation from the standpoint of stealing their quarterback and their lead wide receiver, but that's pretty much all Miami's been doing is stealing other people's players.
Well, not wrong there.
I mean, we'll see if they'll certainly be among the favorites. They're losing a lot of talent, but certainly they'll be among the favorites next year because I'm sure Life Wallet and the rest of them are going to spend a lot of money and have a very talented roster. Mario, can he continue to evolve as a coach?
But obviously he's not going the development route. He's not trying to develop players.
No, they're buying a team. So we'll see if they can finally put it all together. But I will give them credit. Like Reuben Bain was a local kid. They recruited him and they won that battle. So, and they had some really good defensive linemen. I'm sure.
I'm talking about I think I'm quarterback spot. I'm thinking quarterback spot. And so he's not developing.
They become a rent a QB kind of place.
Right.
And that's what they're comfortable doing.
And I think that's why there's some people that when you look at what Alabama is deciding to do, that it's like, okay, are we doing it the right way? Are we doing it the way, because Indiana, you could say they rented a quarterback because Mendoza was brought in from Cal.
And I will say, for a lot of I know certainly they brought in Brockermeyer to play center,
right?
But Mario has built a program on offensive and defensive lines with a lot of their own recruiting, and they have built a program inside out in his image. And they had a great tailback that they recruited that they flipped from Ohio State out of high school this year too. So he has some of those pieces are homegrown. They're freshman wide receiver as well. So he and Mario is a great recruiter. There's no doubt about it. I still question whether or not he's a great X's and O coach, but from the standpoint of evaluating players and recruiting, he's outstanding.
All right, 256-576-4977. You can join the show if you would like. Let's get to the phone lines real fast. Brandon is with us. Good morning, Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Man, I just want to make sure, were there any Volvos hurt during the making of this broadcast today?
Not today. It wasn't hurt yesterday. It just got, rubbing is racing, and
it was very minor. You could barely see anything.
The Volvo stood its ground against a little Toyota Camry. It stood its ground. Now, some paint was swapped.
Yeah.
And the car, the Camry's bumper got a little bit of white paint on it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's got its mark, but the Volvo stood its ground.
Well, nothing that Bill Penny can't fix, so get it taken care of for you.
To be honest with you, I was shocked. There was nothing really there.
Yeah, I was too.
Well, having a conversation yesterday about basketball in the future, and I asked one Brody when I got on the phone with him, I said, what is your confidence level that Stephen Pearl is your coach in 2 years?
Oh.
And most of the people are feeling like he might get next year if he's lucky. And I'm kind of feeling like next year, if he's not making the tournament as probably a 4 or 5 seed or better, this thing may come to an end fast. Because are they going to give him the Hugh Freeze treatment where they just keep bringing him back?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to – I think they would give him some equity because, look, they're going to put up a statue of his dad, and they don't want to, of course, irritate his father. So they're going to give him a chance, I would think. But I do think if they don't finish strong this year and miss the tournament, you heard Brian Matthews talking about how if they lose one of these next two, they're done. I was watching Locked on Auburn last night, too, our good friend Zach Blackerby and Mr. Dappich, his partner. They think that if they lose one of the next two, they're done, and they're just in favor of blowing it up. And I don't mean fire Steven. I mean the roster.
Yeah.
Just skip the NIT and then just start recruiting. And you heard Brian kind of say it, get some of his guys, because he helped recruit this roster, but it was
built probably under the premises that his dad would.
To me, it doesn't look like Bruce Pearl. When I watch the team, he has his own style. I think he's a little bit more defensive oriented.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to recruit a team and get a roster in his image.
Well, if he makes the tournament this year versus not making the tournament this year, if he makes it, do you see 2 years? Or if he doesn't make it and doesn't have a good year next year, do you think we're looking at a move?
Well, depending on how the season, goes, I would think the end of this year, if he can make the tournament, he's fine. I think they would give him at least 3 years to see if he could start being an upper level program or keep Auburn in that mix in the upper level of the SEC like Bruce did near the top. I think he would get some time, just simply because, again, Bruce reestablished Auburn basketball, and I think they feel like this had all been worked out a few years ago, that Stephen was going to follow him, and they would give him some rope and then continue to let him establish it in his own image and, continue that legacy. But certainly if they miss the tournament, if they tank at the end of this year, I think he's still going to be back, but it's going to ratchet up the pressure tremendously to not be a two and done type deal. They're going to have to be much better a year from now.
Well, what I'm getting from my Auburn friends is, with what happened with Freeze and Harsin, they are, as a fan, on a shorter leash because of that.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that. But, I mean, the thing is.
But I do think they need to separate football and basketball.
Right. And I don't think the bottom hasn't completely fallen out of this basketball season yet. If Auburn wins these next two, they're going to be in the tournament, and people are going to be like, all right, let's get into the tournament. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens there.
You can still rewrite things.
Right. You can still rewrite it. Now, next year.
The vibe will be much different.
And if the plug comes out this year, and next year they come out and it's just it repeats itself from this year, then yes, you got a problem. And then I think you deal with it. But if they make the tournament this year, next year you go out and retool a roster, and it's the same thing. I mean, year two, you got more of your own style there. I think by year three is when, I mean, I don't think 2 years now is enough, because remember, Bruce didn't retire in January. He retired later. I mean, it wasn't a lot of prep time, but all right, Brandon, thanks for the phone call, bud.
Thank you, bud.
Roll Tide.
Let's get a break in. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. More cloud cover this afternoon. Temperatures climbing, though, into the upper 50s and lower 60s, right around where we should be this time of year. A couple of scattered showers are certainly going to be possible, but the better opportunity for rain is going to begin to move into the Tennessee Valley on Thursday. Thursday does look like it is going to be a wash as of right now. We're talking about rain Thursday morning, afternoon, and evening, though temperatures climbing into the mid-60s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA Softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore and Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The countdown to Trash Pandas baseball is on. Tickets are available now for opening weekend, Friday, April 3rd through Sunday, April 5th. Friday will be the biggest, brightest, and loudest opening day in team history. Plus, on Saturday, don't miss a special performance and meet and greet with Taylor Swift's guitarist, Paul Sidoti, before a special 105 start on Sunday featuring a post-game Easter egg hunt on the field. Come join us for the fun and get your tickets for opening weekend now at tptix.com. That's TPTIX.com.
Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
All right, Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, 9:38. Van Halen.
Mid-'80s Van Halen.
That's with Eddie Van Halen, right? That's not...
No, this is the original.
This is the original lineup, yes.
Yeah, this is Jump. No Sammy Hagar yet. It's the three Van Halen brothers and David Lee Roth.
One thing that we have not had a chance to hear from yet as we get ready to wind down this
two
thing.
Van Halen brothers, I'm sorry.
Nate Oates previewing tonight's game with Mississippi State. Here is the coach kind of shedding some light on tonight's ball game.
Obviously, Hubbard's been playing really well. I mean, that first half he had against Auburn's almost like a video game you're watching, where I'm not a big video game guy, but it was in the mode he don't miss. So we got to make sure our backcourt defense is ready to go. We got to have adjustment on top of adjustment ready to go if the first one's not working, because he's capable of going for a lot of points. And we've so a week ago that we gave up 49 to Acuff. So we got to make sure we're ready.
Nate Oates talking about tonight's challenge, Mississippi State. Don't forget, Tide fans, it is an 8 o'clock tip. So a late night there inside.
Late and getting back, bro.
No, my goodness. Get yourself a snack or two on the way back.
Yeah, it'll probably be around 2 a.m., man. But what time do you get in for?
Yeah, you'll be all right. I mean, it's just 3 hours of show. You'll be good. You'll be good.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Alabama taking on Mississippi State tonight. Now, what's at stake for the Tide is just, I mean, it's interesting. They can win.
Of course, because if you look at how the schedule sets up, if they can win tonight, tough, not easy, but everybody else has got some tough games as well. And, going into the Tennessee game, if they could be on this 7-game heater, now they still got to go beat Mississippi State tonight and contain Hubbard, as Coach said, but they would basically be playing for a really good shot at getting that 2 seed overall in the double bye, because then they would have a chance to have the tiebreaker over Tennessee because they would have split with them. They've already got the tiebreaker with Arkansas, who's got some tough games left. And now, they also have the tiebreaker with Kentucky, who's still, is behind them in the standings as well. They don't have the tiebreaker with Vandy, but Vandy's been struggling a little bit. So Alabama would have a really good shot at finishing second in the league if they can have a good week.
That win over LSU for Alabama did give them 20 wins on the season.
Right.
They have now won 20 games or more in 4 straight seasons for the first time since 1989, 1992.
And they would have had 6 straight 20-win seasons, but they fell one short the year that we already talked about where they lost to Notre Dame in the first round of the tournament. Right. I think they finished the year with 19 wins. So that was unfortunate, but Nate Oates has done remarkable things. And if Alabama can rally and win tonight and then put themselves in strong position, like I said, I think they could finish with a 2 seed in the SEC tournament, get a double bye, go into Nashville, maybe potentially do some damage, and then at least solidify themselves on the 4 line with the 3 line being the ceiling. And then Florida, if they can navigate this tonight at Texas and then whip Kentucky at home in Rupp to end the season, if they run the table, then I think their ceiling is a 2. But if not, they'll end up being a 3.
Alabama, by the way, has converted 10 or more three-pointers in 8 straight games. Its second longest streak this season. 9 is the longest streak. They had that from November 25th to January 3rd. So there you go. All right, let's get that final break in. When we come back, we'll get to your phone calls, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama, located online at universitykia.com.
We're not quite out of time. We're close, but we still got a little bit of time left. Going on right now, the Northwest, all the action in the Northwest Regional, Wallen State, Hansfield, done. They wrapped up yesterday. So for North Alabama, the only area of concern is the Northeast Regional at Jack State.
Yeah.
And on the court right now is the girls 6A regional final, Fort Payne and Mountain Brook. And with 5:13 left to go, it's 28-23 Fort Payne over Mountain Brook. There in the third. Mountain Brook has outscored the Wildcats 7-2 so far in the third quarter.
Yeah, and then after that, we have some interest because we are very familiar with the Oxford program, Oxford and Homewood. And we have a friend at Homewood as well, Elijah Garrison, former UAH Charger, Fairview Aggie. And they upset Mountain Brook's boys in the Sweet 16, 52-40. And so now they'll be trying to slay the Dragon, which is, I think, the favorite in 6A right now, and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And Joel Van Meter, who reached the finals of the Huntsville City Classic before falling to Huntsville. And then you have 7A today, too. That Albertville Hoover game in girls will be high level. And
that's
then,
at 12:30, by the way. Hoover and Albertville girls 7A finals at 12:30.
Yeah, and then Obadiah Threadgill and the young Sparkman Senators, they get the Hoover Bucks, the 3-time defending champions. Can Hoover continue to win and play at the level they did against Huntsville High against a scrappy bunch of Senators later this afternoon?
John's all excited. He's got a Sparkman.
Yeah.
He's got his Sparkman jacket on.
So I think Sparkman's ready to take on Hoover. They're happy to do that. They had already had to play Huntsville 4 times, and it would have been a 5th. The first 4 were tough matchups and tough games. But again, now they get a chance to try to slay the Dragon known as Hoover. That's the 3-time defending champ.
So you say 5 times, and I know Huntsville City Classic, potential matchups there every
twice
year.
In the regular season, once in the area championship game.
Yeah. I wish they would expand the areas. I wish they would combine the 2 7A areas, and then those be the teams you play during the year.
Well, I do wish they would reseed the regional tournament and the matchups. I think some of it is a little bit repetitive.
But I just think it's silly to have 4 area teams. I think you should – why not have 7 area teams in high school basketball or 8 area teams in high school basketball where you play each other twice?
Well, we'll see if that ever happens, but certainly reseeding it that way, Oxford wouldn't have to play Gadsden City in the Sweet 16, and Hoover and Huntsville the last 2 years probably wouldn't have played till the Final Four, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You heard Stu Studeman talking about it. Coleman ran into Caleb Holt twice. And then last year lost a heartbreaker at the buzzer to Clay Chalkville.
Well, think about how many good Butler and Lead teams back in the day played each other. And
a lot of times in the Elite Eight.
Or they would play in the area finals.
Remember, it took, with Jack Doss winning 10 titles, it took a while for Greg Brown to get through and break through, but they did, and he's won 3 now.
Let's get Harry on the phone real fast. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning, Harry.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Hey, we need to. I'm an Auburn fan, and we just need to steady the ship here. We got a new coach. We knew we went in with a small front court after having the enjoyment of having Cartwell and Broom and Johnson for 2 years in there, and it's just going to be a transition year. A success this year would be to make the NCAA tournament.
Agreed.
But again, we got to steady the ship and support Pearl. I believe they're going to do fine the next 2 games with Ole Miss on Saturday night and LSU at home. Both those games at home on Tuesday night.
Yes.
The big showdown is going to be if they can pull that win off against Alabama and Tuscaloosa. That would lock the tournament, in my mind, NCAA tournament for them as a good quad one win. But again, the sky's not falling. The young coach, inexperienced at the conference level, calling the plays, flat as a pancake last night in Oklahoma. They missed the opportunity for sure. But I say just stay with them, Auburn fans. We're going to see him come around, and I think he's got at least 2 years left after this year.
Well, I think if he makes the tournament, it'll definitely be considered a success in year one. So that's what makes these next 2 games, Harry, no doubt, that they're very, very important for Stephen Pearl going forward and to get this team righted again. And they have some really good wins. They've got the best win in the SEC this year at Florida. They also beat Arkansas like a drum and split with them, and then beat St. John. So they've got some high-level wins.
The other thing about it too, that this is a very small, not deep front court. Those guys, you could tell that was an emotional game in the Kentucky game.
Right.
And the front court was just flat on their feet. They just could not handle the big man from Oklahoma, and they weren't covering the guards very well either. So it was just one of those games you're playing a 7-person rotation for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And you're late in the season, it's just going to be tough. They're going to be limping into the tournament, the SEC tournament for sure. And hopefully if they can pull through, get 3 of the next 4, they can get into the NCAA.
And
as always, great show, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, and Harry's right. Auburn last night played 7 guys.
Yeah.
Elijah Freeman and Filip Jovic off the bench. Those were the 2 that played, Freeman and Jovic. 29 minutes for Freeman, 22 minutes for Jovic. That was it. Keyshawn Murphy played 13 minutes. Sebastian William Adams played 32. Pettiford played 29. Overton played 40.
Out of Keyshawn Murphy, though, he's their best inside player.
And Hall played 32 minutes. So the starters logged 32, 40, 32, almost 30, and 13. So, I mean, there's not a lot of rotation. There's not a lot of depth. They don't play a lot. It's a very small bench for the Auburn Tigers. Oh, my goodness. Hey, IKEA opened today.
Okay.
No excitement.
Never been.
Never been.
Heard of it, never been.
Swedish meatballs. Got to get you some Swedish meatballs from IKEA.
Had chicken baked for lunch yesterday. But it was free, thanks to the Czar.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, we're just about done here on a Wednesday morning. We'll be back at it tomorrow.
I've been thinking about hot chili dogs in St. Simons, Georgia. That's what I've been thinking about.
How far
today.
is St. Simons from
I think
here?
It's freaking 7 hours or something, man. It's far. I wish it was closer for obvious reasons.
St. Simons Islands, Georgia is 7 hours and 40-some minutes away.
Almost 8, man.
You know, if we really, well, no, it's really not even on our way to Tampa. I was saying we could road trip, take an extra day, and then go to St. Simons, get some chili dogs, and then work our way down to Tampa for SEC Media Days.
That would be cool.
But we would have to leave an extra day because we'd have to be a whole nother day, and it's not, that wouldn't work.
Whole another day of travel.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. We could try it, but I don't know. Anyway, we're done. We'll talk a little UAH basketball tomorrow. They're playing on Friday.
Senior night.
But we'll preview that tomorrow because we normally preview it on a Thursday. So we'll stay with our normal routine.
Remember, we heard yesterday, today, at some point.
Oh, that's right. The regional
region rankings.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what kind of mood that Coach Alan Sharp is in. If they're not number 1, shut the whole thing down. It's fixed, just like the NCAA and half those crooks.
He told me the other day that he made the team run because they gave up 61 points, 5 more. So I asked the assistant coaches and the team the other day, they were 5 points below 56 the other day. I asked if he had to run 5 suicides because
I would say no.
He said, don't I dare tell the team that.
No, because he's won a championship already in regular season.